Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. What does Money Making Mitch have for you guys today doing a second video? What has warranted such? Well, listen up. Some of you already heard the news, most of you already did. But I want to show you how the West spins it. I stopped getting angry about it because I understand that God is giving us an opportunity of a lifetime. Remember, Money Making Mitch said that on this channel. Just like I said that we're going to dominate the landscape, NIO will dominate the landscape. When these fake analysts spins the news to make it seems like NIO isn't going anywhere no matter what they do. They can say they've found a mountain full of gold. They will say, oh, it's okay. We don't really need gold anymore. So here's how the Zacks, how they spinned it. Chinese EV major NIO, the so-called Tesla of China. So you can tell the anger that is boiling within them, how it's affecting them. They said the so-called Tesla of China posted a slimmer than expected loss per American depository share of minus 39 cents on revenues of 2.4 billion US dollars, which rose above earlier Zacks consensus. How did it rise above that? See, excuse me guys, they were pretending to not know that NIO, and I said it on my channel many times, we're not going to just generate revenue from selling EVs. And that is becoming evident now with this earning report. But anyway, they knew all of this, but yet they beat us down, and then they're saying that it rose above their earlier Zacks consensus, yet economic issues in China correlated by Apple's big reported drop in iPhone sales in China are hampering NIO shares. It was down early this morning on what happened with Apple. In today's pre-market, year to date and 40% over the past. So when they came out with this type of rhetoric and report about what happened with Apple, NIO shares actually pulled back this morning, even with the good earnings report. But what is happening with Apple is also happening to their lover boy Tesla and Elon. They are losing huge market share because of their inferiority, and also the Chinese citizens are buying more affordable phones. So this is why Apple took a beating. I saw a report on this. But take a look at this little clip, this little video, and then we'll continue with this magnificent video. Take a look, guys.
Your next question comes from Ming Sun Lee from Bank of America. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you, William and the Adrian team. So I also have two questions. So first question is regarding the overseas market. Do you expect NIO to enter the new countries this year? Will you cooperate with more local distributors in other overseas market, or you will maintain the direct sales business model? Also, do you have any overseas sales target for this year?
Thank you for the question. Regarding the global market or international markets, at the moment, we will still primarily focus on the Chinese market, as it is the largest and also the most competitive market for the automotive industry. But in the meantime, we will not stop our exploration into the international market. So far, we have already entered 5 European countries, and we will keep refining our operations and management in these 5 European countries. And this year, we are also planning to enter into several new countries, for example, UAE, as we are invested by the Abu Dhabi's strategic investors. So we are also preparing for the market entry and the sales and the service in that market. For the other countries, we're more waiting and to see the development of the conditions. And strategic-wise, we will also become more flexible because there are two major changes. The first change is that as we will soon have our mass market brand, and the next year we are going to announce our third brand, the price will be below 200,000 RMB, which means that with all three brands combined, we will be able to cover larger market with more segments. Because NIO as a brand primarily focus on the premium segments, basically China, US, and Europe. These three continents contribute 90% of the sales of the premium segment. But for our second and third brands, as they are more affordable, they will be standing a bigger chance of tapping into a more diversified markets and in more regions. So our global market entry will also take these three brands into consideration. And the second change is regarding our strategy entering into each market. At the moment in China and in 5 European countries, we adopt the direct selling model. And in China, we will continue to have the direct sales with direct touch points with users. But for the other markets outside of China, we need to respect the local conditions and also the special characteristics of each market. In that case, we will keep our strategy very flexible and very open. We will look at which way will be bring us quicker return on investment. We don't exclude any possibilities of cooperating with local partners for the market entry. So in general, we will have a very flexible and a very open strategy towards markets outside of China.
Welcome back, guys. So, you see, what's happening, I've said it before, NIO is like a volcano. It's unstoppable. What we're doing and what we're getting ready to do in the markets that we're entering, here in America, we are being denied superior products. I've said it before and I'll say it again, due to the current administration, led by Sleepy Creepy Joe, Genocidal Joe. He is preventing Americans from getting an affordable, superior EV, but yet destruction to our economy, to where we can't afford the junk that they're selling us at a higher price. Now listen to this again. NIO to put 150 kilowatt semi-solid-state battery pack into service in the second quarter. In which quarter, Mitch? The second quarter. You heard that right. The battery that shocked the industry, and they pretend they just they just mentioned it and skipped over it. But if one of their Western companies had made this, it would be on Time magazine with William Li next to it. Now, this is the largest capacity battery pack mass produced in the Chinese passenger car market, and NIO models equipped with the pack have a range of up to 1,055 kilometers, NIO said. The 150 kilowatt semi-solid-state battery pack is finally going to start entering service in a few months and several delays. The 150 kilowatt ultra-long battery pack will go live in the second quarter. The electric vehicle maker said today in its fourth quarter 2023 earnings highlights posted to its social media account in China. This is the largest capacity battery pack produced in the domestic passenger vehicle segment, and NIO models equipped with the pack have a range up to 1,055 kilometers, it said. So it was unveiled, this battery was unveiled when it released the ET7 sedan on January 9th, 2021 at the NIO Day event. And then King William Li last year tested it, and basically it sent shockwaves through the industry. Also, what I wanted to say to you guys is this. We are getting ready to go in more markets. We're getting remember when I did that video and I spoke about how the manager said that just one battery swap station, I believe it was in Norway, was producing tens of thousands of US dollars in 1 year. Tens of thousands, just one. And I said, and I'll say it again, we're not just generating revenue from selling EVs, and this is what the negative Nancy's will want you to think. Well, when is the delivery numbers going to go up so I stop pooping in my pants? You will poop in your pants till the day you die because you have no vision. You're an animal. Now, listen to this. NIO reported results while providing a better than feared first quarter outlook, said Deutsche Bank. NIO reported its first quarter 2023 earnings today, its fourth quarter, showing that its revenue for the quarter exceeded expectations while gross margins missed. And as usual, Edison Yu team shared their first look on the results. So, as we continue to build out and we release the sub-brand, and my God, my fellow lions and lioness, you notice I had to put on the tie for this video and put on my Irish hat, even though I'm not Irish. But you see, what I keep saying this, we are going to dominate the landscape. We're getting ready to go into the Middle East. They said it on the earnings call. Yes, you heard that right. And I said it earlier that I believe we built the ET9 for the Abu Dhabi boys because they can afford this. This will be like taxis over there for them, high-end taxis like black car, that what we think is high-end in America. This will be the high-end for the Abu Dhabi boys. And what is getting ready to happen as NIO continue to build out, going to the Middle East now that they actually confirmed it. This was my suspicion, and even some of my subscribers, some of you guys were also saying this. The amount of revenue we're going to make when we hit the Middle East, guys, and our battery swap stations, and we start selling ET7s and our SUVs, ES6 and what have you over there, and the amount of revenue we'll make from the battery swapping over there, because it'll be so hot they don't want to come out of their car, and the amount of revenue we're going to make from giving back to the grid, and the amount of revenue we're going to make from the phones, because remember, one of the things Edison Yu talked about is the amount of money, I forget how much it was, that came, extra revenue that came not just from selling EVs. A lot of revenue came from the phones, the chips, the battery, giving back energy to the grid, from battery swapping. And I showed you guys how much it's in the millions and millions and millions of swaps taking place now in China, which all, excuse me guys, translate to one thing. That sexy guy, Benjamin Franklin. He is coming our way. When all of the other YouTubers were pooping in their pants, except for the Art Investor, I give that man credit. The rest of them, all would say we have to watch out for this. Especially the 1P your bed guy. Or the stores are empty, I went in them. And then the very next day, sales are skyrocketing. And I told you guys, don't listen to this Nancy. Because we are looking at the future of where we're going and what we're doing. We are looking at future projections. So when the shorts come to say, well, Tesla is still outselling us in China, of course they are. They're selling cheap junk. They're selling $30,000. We're selling high-end premium. And yet, their shares are falling. It is no surprise that Elon Musk is falling from grace. He is now not the world's richest man anymore. Is that a surprise? Not to me. In this channel, when I was talking about it, people said, oh, you're just bashing him. Watch what keeps happening. Also, I want you guys to understand, as we come out with a sub-brand that's going to destroy the Model Y because it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be more technologically advanced. As we release this high-end battery pack, where people will be renting it when they're going on long trips, and as we continue to build out this year and flood the market with Alps, and flood the market in Europe with Firefly, as we go into the Middle East and start flooding the Middle East, what do you all think is going to happen? What do you all think is going to happen in terms of our revenue, in terms of the amount of EVs we'll be selling and things that complement the EV industry? So I hope you guys are excited as I am. This is why when people say to me, Mitch, how can you be so optimistic when the shares keep tanking? Well, I proved it to you guys why it keep tanking. This animal on the Zacks consensus came out and said because Apple sold less phones because the Chinese manufacturers the Chinese phone manufacturers are selling a better phone at a cheaper price and Apple losing market share, but they spin it to make you think, well, the economy must be slowing down. Also, the Chinese government, as you saw in that video, is gonna grow the economy by 5% again this year. They said that, and I said it early on this year when the chairman, Xi Jinping, said they're gonna give a lot of stimulus into the economy to sparkle the economy again, to jumpstart it again. And a lot of that stimulus is gonna go into the technological industry and more so the EV industry. So I hope you guys found this video to be informational, but also inspirational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we have that warrior mindset where we get rich or we die trying, guys.